Shavua Tov. The picture you just saw was the kindergarten classroom here at Schechter, where preparations are well in hand for this week's Model Seder. I thought it would be a nice backdrop to share a few words with you about Passover preparation in general. We Jews are big on preparing. We prepare for 3 weeks prior to the holiday of Tisha B'Av. We have 50 days of counting the Omer to prepare for the receiving of Torah on Shavuot. And we have a whole month of preparation as well, the month of Elul, to prepare ourselves spiritually for the high holiday season. We are now in something of a preparation phase as well, with the last bit of prep time highlighted this past Shabbat, known as Shabbat Hagadol. Traditionally, this Sabbath marked the longest sermon of the year, in which community rabbis would remind everyone of all the preparations and cleaning that needed to be done in our homes to get them ready for Passover. But is that really the most important thing we're preparing for with Pesach? I mean, it is a heinous task, to be sure, to clean out those refrigerators and scour the corners of the countertops, finding all the popcorn stuck under the couch cushions. But surely that can't be what the rabbis were reminding us about, spring cleaning. No, I think there's a much more important message of this period of time we're in. It's about preparing ourselves for a critical, yearly spiritual change in which we move from avdut, slavery, to cherut, freedom. Pesach is, after all, our feast of freedom, and freedom, as we know, is neither easy to come by nor sometimes even easy to accept. It is for this reason that our Haggadah reminds us, B'chol dor vador chayav adam lir'ot et atzmo ki'ilu hu yatsa miMitzrayim. In every generation, each person must view him or herself as if they were actually freed from Egypt. I think if this were an easy process, we wouldn't need the reminder. Freedom, of course, comes in many forms. For our ancestors, it represented a dramatic shift from being under the yoke of Egyptian oppression to being free men and women shaping their future destinies. For us, I think our Mitzrayim, our narrow place, as the word Mitzrayim literally means, in recent history has been the COVID pandemic. We have been constrained and oppressed for over 2 years now, with a great deal of suffering and hopelessness. And yet, there does appear to be light at the end of the tunnel. As I imagine was true of Bnei Israel in the desert, I'm not quite ready to accept that we've come through to total freedom. Part of my doubt is that I'm pretty sure our anticipated freedom will not look quite like our former freedom. But nonetheless, I do think we must strive to view ourselves as if we have the capacity to be freed. If I've learned anything positive from COVID, it's that each of us must find moments within our collective hardship to view ourselves as free, if only for a time. Those rare moments of normalcy that we've experienced, maybe attending a simcha or a shared understanding with someone else in our community, even occasional humor over the situation. All of those are examples of momentary freedom. That is the message of B'chol dor vador. It's not only in every generation, but in every moment of our lives that we have to hold a vision of freedom and work towards it with hope. My hope and my prayer for our Schechter community, then, is that each of us is able lir'ot et atzmo, to see him or herself as if freedom were truly upon us, and to work towards that goal of freedom with as much optimism and good cheer as we can amass. Chag, kasher, v'sameach.